Hello everyone and welcome back to Loco Shortline Operations. Now this is taken me a bit longer than planned, but we are continuing on from the previous video where we had planned to build a construction tools factory. Now I will preface this and say that when we build this, there is no actual need for it. Yeah, I know. If I bring up the iScreen, you'll see that there is nowhere to sell construction tools on this map. So for now, this is just going to be for aesthetics. There's going to be no real reason to have this on here other than we can. So I've brought all the materials down, and as you can see, these have been placed here. We've got those ones on the tracks. So last thing we need to do is hit the E button. And boom, there we go. We have our construction tools factory. How about that? So you can see, in theory, that's not a very big box. We may be able to carry it. Right, so it buys standard goods. So every 5 standard goods will produce one of these. But as I say, at the moment, we don't have a place to sell these. So you may be wondering, well, what's the point? Why have we got this factory sat here that's not really going to do much? Well, when you come by on the train, it's going to look cool. And that's the only thing I can give you at the moment, guys, is it will look cool. So, anyway, let's move on to another part of this episode, because there's so much more to show you in this game. One of the things I will show you is the track build menu. So we had the toggle auto corner, auto smooth, auto level. They were all buttons that we had before. Now we have a toggle J button, which means you can do super elevation. And though I'm not sure on the key to activate the super elevation, we can have auto super elevate. Right. So if I did a curve like so, let's just bring that in. Is this super elevated? No. Okay. So that needs more exploration, but it's a feature. It's there. And when I go back to the standard gauge, we can have a look at that. I'll learn how to use it in the meantime, and then we can have a look. You know what? That's going to take a long time to walk over there. We'll ignore that, because this is what we want. So, we have some new vehicles for the narrow gauge, which are these electric trams. Now, I don't have electric running as of yet, but I think they look quite cool as a tourist train, linked up to our Alco steam locomotive. And why would we need that? Well, that's because we've got passengers, yes. Now, this is all in the dev build, it has to be said, so everything's subject to change. But we have passengers, albeit plumb bobs at the moment. But they act as passengers. So let's see how this works. So we'll jump on board our locomotive, bring up our user interface, and let's pick off the brake. Reverser in full, and we'll just give it a bit of a scotch of power. If you could stop rolling backward, train, thank you. Top up the fire while we're at it. All the coals. We've got 100 pounds of pressure, which isn't too bad. But we'd like a bit more, ideally. So we'll bring our train into the station, and like so. And I know I'm going to upset people with my use of the reverser and regulator on this. But you know what, it's a lightweight train. I think we can get away with abusing it on full reverser. So bring our train in, like so. And as you'll see, little plumb bob people will jump on the train. They're all going for this coach first. We can fit 10 passengers per tram car. Would anyone like to ride this one? You're all going to go for that one. Okay then. It looks like everyone's on board. Let's give a bit of power and let's pull away. And talking of pulling away, there's a new addition to the Z key. So the Z key, when pressed, will lock you in place. If you press the backslash key as well, it will also lock your rotation in place. So when the train goes around the corners, you'll go round with it. Whereas previously, if you've just pressed the Z key, you'll continue looking in the same direction, even though the train's gone round the corner. So that's really cool. I like that. Now, it's a feature that you usually have in most other train sims anyway, is that it will automatically follow the direction. But, you know, sometimes you don't want that when you're locked in. So this gives you the best of both worlds. As you can see, I can turn the mouse and still have a look around, still interact. But before, it could be awkward because you'd be operating the controls, you'd go around the corner, and suddenly you're looking out the side window and having to readjust yourself for the controls. But as you'll see now, give her a bit of throttle. And when we come up to this corner, I'll carry on throwing in our coal. As you'll see, I no longer spin around and lose sight of the firebox. Here we go. Go around the corner. If I look out here, you see as the train goes around the corner, we go around with it. Pretty cool stuff. And a bit sad that no one wanted to jump on that coach this time. But the passengers will load up randomly, depending on where they want to go. So they may have decided this coach is not going to the destination they want. In reality, we're going to every destination, but passengers will choose at random where they want to ride. And as I say, it's all early stages, which is why we don't have actual human figures at the moment. We've just got placeholder plumb bobs. But it's testing that the feature actually works. And the awesome thing about this is when the train is going in the opposite direction, I can use the tram controls. Alright, let's go back over to our Steam Loco. And it's a bit of a long run, so I'll leave it here and catch up with you when we get close to the next station. And so, here we come in to the second station on the map. Currently I have 3 set up. The idea is to eventually go around and place stations at all the destination sites on the map. But I figured we'd have one here at spawn. I think that looks quite good. Now it doesn't quite match up with the spawn platforms, which is a slight shame, but you know, it's work in progress, so that can be changed. Whether it will is a different matter, but it can, if Joe so decides. Give it a little bit of regulator, just to get us that final step. And here we are. Brakes. Now you see, passengers get off, new passengers get on. And now we see, we're actually realising the train is full. So let's make our way out of here. Fortunately, sometimes they do still try and board as you're leaving. And you end up with a random plumb bob on your tracks. But once again, as I say, please bear in mind this is the dev build. So by the time these reach the stable build, all the kinks will be worked out. And as with everything else from Joe, what he produces in the game, by the time they go stable, they're usually pretty much spot on. You see, I've overcoaled my fire. Well, let's top up the water a little then. Oh, it's still low enough. Okay, we'll just put a bit more regulator until the pressure drops off. Now, the train will only do 16 miles an hour, so it's kind of a little bit of a waste to try and push any harder than that. If you try and go much faster, the poor thing would just end up rattling itself to pieces. But, we're chugging away nicely. And you can just about make out the station in the distance over there. So, bit of a bumpy track. But, it's narrow gauge. I mean, I say that, and I do keep entertaining thoughts of relaying a nice smooth track through here, even if it means it's all supported on pillars. But for now, it's narrow gauge. Live with it, little plumb bobs. Oh, that's better. Pressure's dropping slightly. We're no longer trying to burn through it all. And just go check. Tickets please, tickets please. Tickets. Yeah, see, we've got full complement of passengers for this run. And these controls here are dead, so if I try and play with them, it doesn't affect the train in any way. Because of course, this one isn't linked. All I've done is link the far end one. So as I say, we're driving the opposite direction. We've effectively got remote cab control. Even though technically you wouldn't have that on the steam engine, but fun versus realism in this case. I like the idea of being able to stand on the veranda and see forward. As you can see, you're stood here looking at the spectacle. All you can see is your coaches. And I don't fancy really running around at every stop. Not least because this one has no run round facilities. Right, let's knock off the power. See the passengers waiting at the station. Just ease it in. And there we have it. Passengers jumping off, passengers jumping on. Some of them have stayed on. And that will be because the passengers wanted to go back to the station at the far end of the line. So anyway, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on the passengers. Are you excited? Is it something that would make you come back to the game if you haven't played for a while? Or is it something that you just want to jump in and play? I mean, I hate to say it, but Railroads Online hasn't got passengers. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.